I mean, who doesn't love starting a radio show with Van Halen? That's always the right answer. Very well done, producer Joe. That is exactly the correct answer. Very well done. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to From the Ashes on About Face Media. How's everybody doing? What a week. Holy shit, what a week. Things have been insane. Let's start off on a good foot. How many of you, hang on, let me turn the volume down on my own freaking phone. What kind of, it's not professional at all. Who does that? Who leaves their own phone volume up when they're starting a radio show? Who does that? Especially somebody's been doing it for this long. Why do you people even listen? I don't even know why you bother. I swear to God. Anyway, let's start off on a good step. How many of you went and saw Project Hail Mary this weekend? Holy shit. What a fucking awesome movie. That was great. So last year, I guided 4 friends fly fishing in Columbus, Ohio. And see, I still have fucking Rust-Oleum on my arm. I painted a chicken coop this past weekend with Rust-Oleum with Seth, and I still have fucking Rust-Oleum all over me. Hello, Heidi. Glad you're here. Looking good, Robbie. Yes, I am. What do you call it? Project Hail Mary. So I read the book last year while on a fishing trip with friends. And then this year, obviously the movie came out Friday. If you have not seen it, you are missing out. This is one of the great movies of the year. This is an excellent movie. Even better book. It was awesome. Literally right up until the last sentence. It starts off strong, and until the very last sentence in the book, it's an awesome, awesome movie. I can't recommend it enough. If you happen to take a little mushrooms on the way there and you happen to take too much and really enjoy the movie, that's a good thing too. Awesome. Really good. Malik is here. What is up? Glad you are here, dudes. Very glad you are here. I'm sure you heard our intro. Van Halen. Can't wait for it to be you, man. I'm working on it. I'll get there. The book was incredible. The audio version was very well done. I agree completely. Completely. I read the book, then listened to the audio book on the way back from Ohio, and the audio book was awesome. The movie was incredible. It was, I cannot say enough good things about Project Hail Mary. So yeah, folks, if you're having a bad day, if you're feeling kind of shitty, and you got an extra $13 in your pocket with nothing to do with it, go to the movies. Project Hail Mary is awesome. Great movie. Excellent. Can't recommend it enough. Wow. The veteran community, military world, what the heck, man? I'm sure we talked about last week. We lost a KC-135. We lost 4 people on that crew. Iran war is still going on. Please pray for your service members. If you are a parent of a service member, or you are a spouse, or you're a family member of an American service member right now, puff your chest out. Walk a little taller. You've earned it. Your family members are doing good things that are going to have lasting impact on the history of our nation. So please puff your chest out a little bit. Stand tall. You've earned it. Your family members are doing good things. If you are in the American military right now, get some. Have some fun. I love what you guys are doing. You're doing good shit. So keep doing what you're doing. In just a few minutes, we're going to bring on Kevin from Ivy Jiu Jitsu. We are sticking with our theme of veterans in skilled trades. Would you call jiu-jitsu a skilled trade? Yes. I mean, it takes you how long to get yourself a belt? I mean, come on now. I mean, it took me. I was a white belt for like 10 years, something like that. 5, 6 years, something like that. And a blue belt for, stop looking at me like that. 15, 20 years. Why? You're a dick. That's why you can't have friends in the studio. We are broadcasting live from the Parker Cat House, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. If we get shut down, once we get rid of the cops, we will give you a call back as quickly as possible. I apologize. All right. First thing, we're going to open up the show with Never Forgotten. Ladies and gentlemen, our nation was hit hard this week. Very, very hard. We're going to be okay. We're going to get through this all together. Our nation lost Chuck Norris this past week, ladies and gentlemen. I have a very good friend who has been a guest on this show. You know him as Chief Gagney from fire department along the New York border. He's been on this show talking about his time on the ground on September 11th and whatnot. This dude sent me the saddest text message I have ever gotten about the death of Chuck Norris. I legitimately was concerned about the poor guy. So for those that don't know, Chuck Norris was in the Air Force for a while. This dude, bare knuckle fighter. I mean, legit. This dude, this is before UFC existed. This dude stepped in the ring and fucking threw down, motherfucker. He absolutely full contact before the UFC was a thing, and was taking heads. So yeah, and then decided to become the badass actor that we all know and love. So yeah, absolutely a loss to our nation. Chuck Norris is not dead. He is underground doing squats, pushing up the earth. So yeah, we've all heard those awesome Chuck Norris jokes. So none of them are wrong. They're all correct. And from what I understand, he loved Chuck Norris jokes. If you ever had the chance to shake Chuck Norris's hand or met him or anything to that extent, by all means, we would love to hear from you. Was talking to Seth this past weekend, talking to a bunch of friends this past weekend. And yeah, I didn't watch like Texas Ranger growing up, but I did, Chuck Norris movies. We watched Delta Force growing up. Even you'd go to all the movies and watch all that shit. They were cheesy action movies, but who doesn't love cheesy action movies? I heard Death had a near Chuck experience. See, that's the kind of shit I'm looking for. That's exactly what we're talking about. Chuck rolled with the Gracies in Brazil. There's a video in somewhere. I did hear that Chuck had rolled with the Gracies in Brazil, which I just think is super badass. That's pretty fucking cool if you ask me. What else we got up here? Unlike Bruce Lee. I love, what's that movie Once Upon a Time in like Hollywood or something like that, where he gets in the fist fight with somebody, I forget who it is. So one of those guys that our wives like. Brad Pitt, that's it. And he whips the shit out of him. Brad Pitt was like caves in the side of a car with him. I'm like, that's fucking badass, man. Well, I mean, obviously an actor playing Bruce Lee, that's a whole nother story. Yeah, we're going down pathways, whatever. It doesn't matter. Look, we lost Bruce Lee, ladies and gentlemen, or excuse me, we lost Chuck Norris, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be okay. The nation will recover. We're going to be all right. Lost quite a few other folks. Yeah, this is also March 23rd. This is also the anniversary of the Green Ramp accident, for those that don't remember. For those that are with the 82nd Airborne, I imagine all of you remember this day quite clearly. This is the day that remember the Green Zone ramp accident, where an F-16 fighter drove into the side of a C-141 and killed a lot of paratroopers. So yeah, if you are airborne, if you are with the 82nd Airborne, you very clearly remember the Green Zone ramp accident. And all of those paratroopers are in our thoughts and prayers tonight. When you say your prayers tonight with your family, please remember the soldiers of the 82nd Airborne that gave their lives. So yeah, that was a horrible, horrible day for our United States military. So yeah, please remember those in the, and I didn't even, that's amazing that Joe can pull that shit up so quickly. I didn't even tell him we were going to talk about the Green Ramp tragedy, and that dude just pulled that out of his ass. Joe, you're really good at your job. This show would not be possible without you. So thank you to Joe, the producer. This show would not be possible without what he does. With all that being said, and I know we're a little early as I look up the clock, but as I look in the green room, I can see Kevin sitting in the green room, anxiously awaiting his chance. He's supposed to be teaching a jiu-jitsu class right now, but he's like, hey man, I'll take some time out so I can be on this stupid radio show. Meanwhile, other white belts right now are probably learning heel hooks because you're fucking talking to me, aren't they? They are, aren't they?
No, we're working. Can you hear me?
Man, you have the voice of an angel. By all means, wow.
No, we're working on mount this week, so there should be no heel hooks. I mean, unless they're creative. There's definitely some ways, but unless they're creative.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show Kevin from Ivy Jiu Jitsu. Kevin, how the heck are you?
Good. Very good. How are you guys doing?
We are excellent. Joe is remote right this second, but he is definitely hearing you and everything that you're saying. So 2 minutes before the show goes live, we get this message on our from who's it from? Hang on, I can find this. Where did it go? Did I lose it? No, I didn't lose it. There it is. From Lady Johnson of Dunnan's Castle.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Is this your mom, your 6th grade English teacher? Who is this person? She's like, make sure that he's honest and tells you that he couldn't have done any of this without me. So I assume this is like your 6th grade English teacher, or who?
No, that's the missus. That's the wife.
Huh. No kidding.
Yeah.
And she just carried you through all this. That's impressive.
Yes, if she didn't say yes, this would not be possible. So at the end of the day, that is a little bit of truth coming from her.
We can't give him too much credit, man.
It's easier for me if I do that. It makes me, then I can get away with doing stuff. So
you at least get a few blankets tonight if you get to say her.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Give her a little bit of credit. That's awesome. Well, if you haven't listened to the show before, welcome to the show. Glad you are here. We are huge fans of jiu-jitsu here, mostly because it's shortening our lifespan and making it so that we can't walk straight down the sidewalk and things like that. And white belts keep trying to heel hook us. Whatever. That's a whole nother conversation. So I'm rolling through. Dude, I have been following you on the gram for as long as I can remember. Your shit is fucking hysterical, dude. I love your Instagram channel. And then I'm scrolling through one day and I see you in a fucking Marine Corps uniform. And I'm like, get the hell out. The dude's a vet. Gotta get him.
I don't broadcast it enough, I guess. It drives my wife crazy. So anytime we go anywhere and they have a military discount, she's like, you should ask. I'm like, I don't do that. I don't bring it up.
We're the same way. We don't. Yeah. We're the exact same way.
I would say most, veterans are that same way.
They are. For the most part. We have a tendency to around here. We understand why on Veterans Day you all go and get to Applebee's and get your free steak, but just not our jam here. It's just not our thing. We get it. Enjoy your free steak, enjoy your free coffee at Applebee's and whatnot. Just not our thing. I see you looking around the room like, because some purple belts doing something fucked up.
No, they're switching partners right now, so I'm just observing to make sure they choose the right ones.
We're going to try to be respectful. If you have to take a break so that you can go.
I don't know if this is going to help or not, but I have a Brazilian brown belt watching right now. So it could go one or two ways. I have no idea.
Well, no one knows what he's saying. They just know he's saying it loudly.
Exactly. Yeah.
So let's start at the beginning. For those of our listeners who have not met you before and don't know about your social media, they will by the end of this episode. That's super cool.
Nice.
But for those that don't know, let's start at the beginning. Tell us about your military service. So what caused you to join the United States military? What branch did you serve in? There's a giant Marine Corps logo behind his head, folks. What branch did you serve in and what did you do?
So the reason I got into it, or I enlisted, was very strange because I was in high school, and like most of us, you have this choice to make after high school. Do I go to college? Do I get a job? Or do I serve? Whatever. I knew law enforcement was of an interest, and a lot of the requirements for the police departments around my surrounding areas, like you got to have work experience, you got to have military experience, whatever. And at that time, I was deciding, a buddy of mine enlisted in the Marine Corps, and I had no idea what the Marine Corps was. And I asked him, I said, why'd you join the Marine Corps? And he said, well, it's the hardest one to get into. And I was like, oh, I'm going to do it. So I went and I enlisted in the Marine Corps, and I went home. And I think I was 17 at the time. I was just about to start my senior year. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. So I went home and get my parents and tell them, hey, this weekend we need to meet with the recruiter so you guys can sign for me. Like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm going in the Marine Corps. And my dad was in the Army. So he asked two things. He only asked, because at the time I was doing MMA. In the high school is when I started my martial arts type journey, whatever you want to call it. And I was fighting. And all he knew is that I wanted to be on, as soon as I graduated high school, I wanted to be on the next season Ultimate Fighter. That's what he thought I was going to do, because that's what my goal was. So I came home, I told him I joined the military, and he asked that. He said, what about fighting? I said, I'm losing, Dad. I was like, I don't know. I'm realizing how hard it's going to be to have to do that. So I don't know if I want to.
Beating me up. I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah. So then I was like, so I figured I'd join the Marine Corps. And then he said, his other question, like, did you think about the Army? And I said, not very much. No offense to Army people out there.
No, my kids would have the exact same answer. But I did it again, Randy. Did you see that? I just did it again. My kids would have the exact same. Look, man. So I have these mic socks that my friend made for me. I love these things. They're awesome. The problem becomes is I put them on our microphones, and then in the middle of the show, I'll be talking, and I'll be like, I'll do this with it, and it looks like I'm fucking rolling down an uncircumcised penis. And
it makes it a lot better. It makes a lot better quality, though.
Does it? Yeah, it does. It blocks a lot of the S's.
Yeah. I guess that's why they make them, but that's cool. I used to have it set up, and I'm like, okay, cool. I need to take notes. So yeah, I'm trying to remember what. Yeah, so I joined the Marine Corps.
You're welcome back here anytime.
Yeah. So I joined the Marine Corps. I went in as infantry, and in boot camp, those of you in the Marine Corps, you kind of might know this unless you weren't infantry, and you're like, what are these guys disappearing for? Some of us started getting pulled out to do these screenings and whatnot. And essentially, we were getting screened to go to presidential security, Yankee wife clearance, all that stuff. I had no idea what it was. They showed us pictures of people repelling from the White House. And when they asked me if I wanted to do it, after you go through all this stuff throughout the 3 months of boot camp, every now and then you get pulled out to do it. I enjoyed it because I didn't have to get screamed at and didn't have to get smoked in the same pit. And then they asked me, like, do you want to do it? And I said, no. They were shocked I said it so quick. And they're like, why? I was like, it's not what I enjoyed to do. Because I joined, I wanted to test myself. I wanted to deploy. I wanted to see how much I could take on myself. So just like the Marine Corps is, it doesn't matter what I want. So they sent me to it. And it was good. It was a good experience. I got to meet a lot of cool people. I ended up going back to the fleet, served out in Pendleton. And then at that time when I was leaving camp, I ended up serving at Camp David. And when I was leaving there, just right before I left, I had met my now wife. So I got to Pendleton and we were, I was doing some stuff out there, and it got to the point where I wanted to extend or not. I was like, I'm just going to get out and start my life with her. And then, so that's what got me in the military. I honestly, my run in the military was, now I look back and I brag about it. I was extremely grateful experiences I had. Did I get to do what I want, deploy and all that stuff? No, I had it. It was weird. It was unfortunate because when I left ITB or infantry school, I was supposed to go training for the presidential security stuff, is what they called it. Mm-hmm. And they didn't pull me out for that. They said, no, you're going to 2-9 and you guys are deploying to Marja. And I was like, even better. I was like, let's go. Mm-hmm. So I was on a workup for like 3 to 4 months. And then they pulled me aside one day. I was like, hey, you're not supposed to be here. I was like, what are you talking about? But you're supposed to be in Virginia doing security force training. I was like, that's not my job though. And they're like, did something happen in boot camp? I was like, oh yeah, I think so. And it was one of those things. I got pulled out of that. I had some good buddies that deployed. Some of them didn't make it, just all that stuff. But it was overall, my experience, I think, was good. And I'm grateful for what I did. Whatever happened. I wasn't bitter about it. And it got me to do all the stuff I'm doing now. So,
is it a rigorous selection process or something? You said folks didn't make it.
It's basically like if you serve law enforcement, it's kind of like that type of hiring process. The psychological evaluations, personality trait tests, all that stuff. Obviously, you got to be in shape. You got to have a good. Your test scores have to be decent. But that's pretty much all it is. I will say the hardest part was like I got grilled by female commander of the Navy who was a psych evaluator. And then next to her were 2 first sergeants that I ended up, at the time, I didn't know who they were first sergeants or where they were stationed at. They just looked like 2 freaking beasts of human beings that were Marines. And they were asking me the most personal questions. I don't know how inappropriate or appropriate you guys get on this show.
Come on.
But anything you can think of, they were asking me what type of pornographic material I've watched, what type of sexual relationships I was into, everything you can think of.
Are dicks delicious?
And at the time in the Marine Corps, I can't talk other than the third person. So I'm like, I have to stop and answer this and so I don't get in trouble. And eventually they're like, look, you could just talk like your normal self. I don't care. So
this recruit thinks that dicks are not delicious, sir.
Exactly. Yeah. It was like the weirdest experience. And I was like, what is going on? And then eventually people back home, they had the FBI come in and ask them questions and stuff. And my buddy, he explains it perfectly, but because in high school, I was a rebel. I didn't care about authority, government, all that stuff. And he got interviewed by the FBI. And one point they're like, "Does Kevin ever talked about like anti-government stuff, overthrowing the government?" And he said, It was like a scene from a movie. Flashbacks to me carrying around like the anarchist cookbook, reading books on like serial killers and stuff like that. And he was like, then it flashed back to him. And he's like, no, not at all. He's a great patriot. He is
phenomenal. Got a picture of you with a joint in your mouth, fucking drawing up some heroin, Bud Light sitting right there. No, man. Yeah, we met at church. I don't know what you mean. That's fucking awesome. Is that not every one of your military friends right there? That's your wife will call and be like, oh yeah, he's right here, man. You've been dead for 48 hours in the grave.
Exactly. And it's funny. I ended up serving with him in the police department here in Nashville, Tennessee. When I got out, went to school, and then became a cop. And now, fast forward, now he's not a cop anymore, and I'm not a cop anymore. So.
Yeah, well, a lot of folks are struggling to stay in the law enforcement field. I can't say I blame them. I'm like, why would you put up with that shit?
Yeah, that's the thing that right when I left, we had somebody in my academy class. He got hung up for a shooting that he was involved in. It was just one of those where I'd like go home, and then the missus was like, I don't know if I want you doing this, right? After seeing how the department was handling it, and it's like, one of those where it's like, had to think long and hard. It's like, I'm maybe not doing this anymore.
Well, and law enforcement is, I think, one of the few fields right now where the suicide rate is worse than the veteran community. And I'm like, holy shit, man. That's fucking horrible.
There's no, I could get into that whole, another whole interview of that one. But it's just, there's no, the stuff you see on a regular basis, like,
platform's yours, man.
I don't know how much time you have, but there's no, I'm not saying you need to have a psych evaluation after every traumatic scene and stuff, but there's nobody at any point, not that I'm saying I need to, whatever. Luckily I've been, knock on wood, there's some things, but it's not nothing that's stopped me from doing what I'm doing every day. But it's like, there's people out there that could use with talking to somebody after seeing somebody's head blown off, it's like just stuff like that where it's like, but they have to do that. And then they have to go answer a call for a loud noise complaint of a dog barking. And it's like, how do you expect immediately? Like as soon as you get in your car, you check back in service after that horrendous scene. You got to go answer some lady complaining about a dog barking their head off. And you're like, man, it's like but that's her. I don't know what comedian said. I think Ivana said, but that at that time, that barking dog is her Vietnam War. Everybody's got their thing. So
you're right. Yeah.
It's hard to adjust.
I have family that works in law enforcement, and the things they deal with, and I'm like, man, it's going to be, I hope you're taking care of you now. I hope you're doing the things to take care of yourself physically and mentally now, so that 30 years from now, this doesn't all come boiling to the surface and ruin your marriage and ruin your kids and ruin your career and all that shit. So I hope you're fixed. Law enforcement folks, if you are hearing our voices right now, get ahead of this. Get into jiu-jitsu, find a friend, find your tribe, find your people. Law enforcement does not define your life. It is simply what pays the bills. When you go home, punch the ticket, you're done. It's not your life.
Now, if you guys are looking for something, though, jiu-jitsu is perfect for that.
Now, jiu-jitsu, have you ever done it before? Do you like it? What do you tell us about jiu-jitsu? What do you think of it?
I have my good days and bad days. I have my days where I'm running a good class and getting some good rounds in, and I have days where a white belt will get a stupid sweep on me, or, and I'm like, all right.
I'm going to hear a lot more about those good days. I don't have those, so tell me more about those.
No, it's any day. Like, I love being on the mats and just coaching. I call it coaching. I run it a little weird, not weird, but anybody familiar with the jiu-jitsu community, it's all a big, like, is it teaching technique or is it constraint-led approach now? And I've kind of fully adapted the game style of it, and I've just seen a better progression, and it's just more fun. Everybody's getting a better workout.
Why jiu-jitsu? Why did you pick that of all the things? Why you got out? You could have opened a fucking flower shop or something, dude. Why did you pick this?
Well, when I was fighting in high school in MMA, my jiu-jitsu sucked. And all the matches I had I got taken to the ground. I remember one time I came out and I was like, most of the kids I fought, I say kids because we were young then, we're like 17, 18, but they were strikers. So I'm like, oh, this is gonna be fun. We're gonna brawl. And then I remember it was I think my second fight I had. I threw a combination, and then the person just disappeared. And then I see the lights in the ceiling, and he shot in for a double leg. But it was the fastest double leg. And I was like, my ground game sucks. So went in the Marine Corps, did a lot of, the McMap stuff. Some people hate it, some people whatever. But as long as you keep progressing it, you find a group of people, you get some good training in. Once I got out, and especially getting law enforcement, like I need to learn how to control somebody. Me and my brother was talking about it for a while, like let's just do it. And he found the gym. I joined like a week after he did, and we've been doing it ever since. So,
dude, is that your family up on the screen right there?
Yeah,
look at you, man.
Now that was, wow, I think that was 2 years ago.
What a beautiful little family.
Thanks.
That's awesome, dude.
That was for her. Yeah, that was my wife's 40th birthday. Her and my stepdaughter, Phoebe, they went skydiving.
Bro, dude, I've been married for 28 years. Probably shouldn't announce that it's her 40th birthday, bro.
Hey, it's all right. I think she just whispered that to me. It's
all right. I'm here for you, man.
I'm safe. I think I can handle myself. I'll be all right.
We'll edit that out if that helps you. It's a live radio show. There's no editing, bro. Anyway, what do you call it? Jiu-jitsu and veterans. Why?
Well, I think like we just talked about too with law enforcement, it just helps with that mental. I'd say more with veterans because you don't really experience it much as law enforcement. People can, argue back and forth about it, but the camaraderie you get in the military, it's very similar to jiu-jitsu. There's people here in the mats that's never served. They're not first responders or anything, but if shit hit the fan, like at my house, if something AC unit went out or something like that, one of these people I could call and they'll be over there within 20 minutes, helping me fix it. Like that. I think it's just because we're simulating killing each other, right? We're not really doing it. We're doing it in a fun way, but it's just that kind of like, it's like that. We're fighting together. You got whatever you need. We got it. Like I reach out to these people here in the mats more than I reach out to my direct family, that my brothers and stuff. They live in the area and I love them to death, but they're kind of third, fourth on the list when I call people that I need something, and it's just because we're just so close knit here and the way we run the gym, everybody says they got a good gym culture. I think we do. The people here think we do. We have people that have stuck around ever since the doors open from day one. So we got a bunch of blues that are getting ready to get purples and stuff. So they've been here ever since the beginning. And it's just, I with veterans, a lot of the guys that come from military, so they say they're missing that kind of like tight knit group kind of. We try to do stuff outside of here, but most of the time it ends up being here because we get done with class and we just end up bullshitting on the mat for another hour. And then like my wife will leave with the kids and then she'll text me like, "Are you coming home?" And I'm like, "Oh crap, I forgot." Like
we still got a mop.
I usually do that. I tell someone if they stay too late, I'm like, "Y'all go, I'll get it. Don't worry about it." Because that's another thing for me, a mental part. I love spraying the mats and mopping, just walking back and forth by myself. That's like my cool down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I feel like it's giving back. I like to mop at the end of class because I feel like it's giving back to my house. Like I live here. This is my community. This is my place. So and I've been at my academy since 2015, I think it is. Oh, nice. Holy fuck. Oh my God. And
it's all right. That's all right. That's not too long ago. It's all right.
But it's the people. It's I mean, you got a banker rolling with a cop, rolling with a fucking complete stoner who could be probably arrested a week or so ago, or at least pulled over. I mean, it's that group of people, to say nothing of the support that they give you. I mean, those people are. My phone rings. If I'm having a shitty day, it's amazing. If I'm having and it's not the veterans either. Like if I'm having a shitty day, I'll get a text message from my friends from jiu-jitsu first. Bro, what's up? How's it going? You gonna make it through tonight? It'll be touch and go, but I'll make it.
Yeah.
Our jiu-jitsu friends are and you're exactly right. It's because 37 minutes ago we were working as hard as we possibly could to take all the air out of you. I wanted to choke you to death. I was grinding my teeth while I had both of your collars across your neck, and I was working hard to fucking kill you until I felt that little tap. And now you're like, exactly. You guys,
it's true.
My therapist.
They are the first ones to check on you. And the way they do it for me here, if I'm not acting like a complete dick to them, they're like, "What's going on, dude?" Because I'm really sarcastic. I'll walk around and just be like, they're in a bad spot, and I'll just be like, you got to get out of there. That's not, you don't want to be there. And they're just like, "Yeah, I know, I get it." Like, we got to have fun. You got to have fun.
I will never come to your academy because I'm just as bad, if not worse. I never stop talking. I never stop talking.
We're all the same. Anytime somebody visits, I got to remind myself, like, some gyms don't let you talk and stuff. Here, we're just.
I know.
Yeah, you got to have fun. If you're not joking and laughing, it's weird because then everybody will sense when somebody's getting frustrated. Like, they're not rolling with them. They'll just stop and look over, like, why is so-and-so getting upset? Like, I'm like, hey, walk it off. And just like, oh, no. Yeah,
it's amazing. Yeah, I never shut up. And it drives my instructors insane, which is my favorite part. It's the best part of the whole thing. But anyway, Ivy Jiu Jitsu. Where does Ivy Jiu Jitsu come from?
So my mother-in-law, her name was Ivy. And
it's beautiful.
We named my middle child after her. That's her. When she was still alive. And then she passed a couple years ago. And when we were GB, and we left GB to start our own thing because we just didn't like it. I'll just leave it at that. So we're thinking of a name. My wife mentioned Ivy. And I was like, I don't know about that for jiu-jitsu. And then, like, I think I was out cutting the grass one day and I saw a bunch of ivy plants, like, wrapped around the fence. And I was like, God, I'm tired of these things. They're just growing everything, all that stuff. And you're like, it just keeps going. They don't go away. And it wraps around everything. I was like, fuck, that's jiu-jitsu. So I was like, all right, let's do it. Let's start getting the logos up. That's how we came to it. There's a funny picture, not a funny, but it's one of the favorite pictures of my wife and her family. Of her mom drinking a glass of wine with a cigarette in her hand with a big smile on her face. Because that was her all the time. Like, if we're on a cruise, we go on cruise a lot. She'd be in the casino. That's what she's doing. So we were joking when we took the posters down the wall. We had, everybody up there, Carlos Gracie, all that stuff. She's like, let's just get a picture of her. Same setting, like a black and white picture of her on the wall doing that. And I was like, I don't think we're going to get people to bow to that, but we can put it up somewhere. So we were looking at doing that. But we might still work on doing that.
Face your partner. Face the mural. Bow.
Well, we stopped doing all that stuff. We don't really bow. Like, the kids still do the bowing stuff too, and still a little bit of discipline, but the adults are pretty relaxed. I do have 2 posters coming up. I had somebody working on the artwork. I'm going to get Master Roshi and Master Splinter up on the wall. So those are the 2 instructors I'm going to have on the wall.
That's awesome, dude. That is excellent.
Waiting getting those. So
the one interview I have always wanted to make happen on this show that I've never been able to put together, Master Ken.
Oh, nice. I think, I don't know if you've reached out to him. I think he's pretty, like, approachable, and, like, because there's a couple of jiu-jitsu content creators that I follow that started recently. Yeah. So they're still growing, and they worked out something with him where they did a little video thing together.
We're not quite as popular as Tool quite yet. We're getting there. So
yeah. Well, I don't, but like I'm saying, I don't think. Yeah, I think you just shoot your shot. I think you can. That was like when we got Theo and Davies and you do a seminar. Mm-hmm. All right, we had some extra cash. Like, maybe we can get somebody, because I don't really like seminars, but if it's somebody big game, and we were at home, me and the wife, and I think we were watching UFC or something. I just saw on her social media popped up that she was going to be in the States. And it was funny. I had like a drink or 2. So it was as if I was out trying to meet a girl for the first time. I told my wife, like, I'm going to DM her. And she was like, shoot your shot. And I was like, yeah, we'd be interested, And it was funny because she ended up eventually, months later, they reached out. Like, yeah, we'll get it squared away. So yeah, just got to, I think.
Does your wife train?
She does. She's a blue belt.
How did you talk your wife of 3 children into training?
I didn't do it. Well, at first we didn't have all the kids. We had my stepdaughter, and we were working on having kids. We ended up having to go through IVF, so it was taking some time. Mm-hmm. And at that point, before that, the guy I was training under at his gym, he needed somebody to work the front desk and get the signups and stuff like that. And she had moved from England. Mm-hmm. She didn't have a job. Luckily, she knew at the time. She's like, I'll do it. So she went there.
Super sexy accent.
She's got an English accent, yes. Yeah. So, and it still has that. It still definitely has that effect, unfortunately. Because I tell her, like, when you're yelling at me, it's like, there's some accents that don't work out. That one, now, there are some different type of English accents that could not work. I've heard some people talk, and I'm like, yeah, stop it. Like,
not going to work?
No. Yeah.
Just call you a bloke or some shit. But anyway, I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you.
Every now and then she comes up with those cute names. But so she started working there, and then eventually, Brian, the head instructor of the gym at the time, he pushed her onto the mat. So he was like, hey, let's start doing it, because he really wanted her to train so she could better understand the job, which makes sense. and she started training. She's competed a couple times. Now, since she started, we've had 3 kids. So she's been a blue belt for, let's see, I've been a brown belt for 3 years now. And she's been a blue belt for that long as well. And she's been a white belt for another couple of years before that. But she's just not on the mats as often anymore. Not that she doesn't enjoy it. She's just kind of like, it's not her like big passion.
Bro,
so
3 kids, man. I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
And it's funny because every time we had one, we were either at a jiu-jitsu tournament or a competition. That same weekend after we came home with the baby, we're at a jiu-jitsu comp or some type of jiu-jitsu event, whatever it was.
Dude, my wife is far and away the most competitive person I have ever met on the planet. We don't play Clue in my house because holy shit. Yeah, far and away the most competitive person. She was a competitive weightlifter for the longest time, but does not anymore. And I've been trying to talk her into jiu-jitsu forever because it would completely fit what her personality type, fit her personality type. Nah,
it's hard.
I don't want to roll around with sweaty people. I'm not interested in that. Look, I don't want to either, but they're trying to kill me, so I'm cool with it. I get you, man. Anyway, let's come back to what you do. Anyway, dude, your social media is fucking hysterical. I love where some of your shit that you come up with is absolutely golden. Absolutely love it. Is this all your idea? Do you have people from your academy come up to you and be like, dude, can we shoot a video?
No. Well, the only time they ask is at the end of class if I need somebody to be like the uke in the videos for the techniques. I'm like, oh yeah.
So they volunteer.
Yes. Some of them and they'll help record.
You don't have to like rope them in and shit.
No, they're all, it's great. Yeah. So I don't have to do much work for that. As far as the ideas, most of them do come from me. Some of them will see stuff online and they'll send it to me. And I don't like to copy a lot. There's some trends that go, if the viral trend can work in jiu-jitsu, I'll do it. There's been a few, but like, I don't like it. Once I see an idea,
Harlem
like the
Shake
whole,
is gone.
I mean, that was years ago.
I think that one.
Yeah, I think that one's definitely dating you a little bit. But
thanks,
I mean,
dude.
don't get me wrong. I remember it too. That's a big deal. But
anyway,
one of them was like everybody does the jiu-jitsu fighting thing, which like when you break into a jiu-jitsu person's house and they butt scoot towards them. I was like, that's not. My thing was like, instead of doing that, I'm just gonna get my gi on and tie my belt and come out there to him. And then as I pan past the camera, you hear gunshots and my body fall, and they're just like, what the hell is he wearing? So I'm in my gi. So I did that one, and that one was a good one. But some of the stuff though, to be honest, you got to figure out what it is you want to do on social media. Why are you trying to grow your social media? And now I'm at the point like, let me try to make some money out of this, so I'm not taking money from the business. So some of those things, they can be really good, but it's one, if it sticks, and that's a big if. And then 2, it's the time you put into editing and filming it. Like, why would I can do a 15-second quick technique reel and make it grow. And then honestly, one of the best videos I have only has like 100,000 views on it, but it's got almost 2,000 followers from it because it was me teaching how I teach, being a dick. It was like, this is why you suck at this. This is why you need to do it. And it just, so you got to find your own thing. And that's what took me a little bit a while. Because when I first started, I was still under the GB umbrella and I was worried about kind of rustling some feathers. So it was really cookie cutter. And I was like, this isn't me. I don't do this. And so once I changed it and kind of started doing my own thing with the throat rips and all that shit, people, now if I do a video without a throat rip, people are like, where's the throat rip? And I'm like, not every one of them is going to have a throat rip. But so yeah, it's definitely, the reason I got into that was to help grow the business and help to grow my brand once we were leaving that big affiliation, because now we're independent. We don't have anybody. So I wanted to start doing my own thing. And it's turned out to be one of the probably best decisions as far as the business goes.
I agree completely. I'm sure it's got to be doing great for your business. Do you find that veterans respond better to the, hey man, here's this technique. Maybe you should try this. Let's slow down a little bit. Let's try this instead. Put your fingers here. Or do you find that they respond better to, you're fucking that all up, try this way instead, and you stand on them?
Yeah, 100%. I tell them they're an idiot. I'm like, don't do that. Or the best thing is kind of like in the Marine Corps, you go to boot camp, you get yelled at, you get screamed at, they treat you like you're a freaking infant, you don't know anything. Then when you go to infantry school, it's like, you're an idiot. That's why it didn't work. And you're like, oh, thanks. Like, okay, that sticks a little bit better. So it's the same way with them. It's like, I'm kind of like that with everybody.
Yep.
Now, at the same time, I sound like that, but I think they would mostly say that I'm pretty chill and pretty cool and pretty nice. And like, I help them out a lot. Cause I'm one of those too, where it's like, there is no blueprint for jiu-jitsu other than fundamental stuff. But fundamentals, it changes from school to school. Fundamentals in one school can be a dummy sweep or a scissor sweep or something, but my fundamentals are, can you destabilize them? Can you get solid connections? And can you control them? Like, if you can do those things, you should be able to do everything else. So when they're looking at me doing a sweep, like a De La Riva sweep or something, I'm like, well, I don't know how to do that. I'm like, just destabilize them from that position. So I'll stick them in the position, like, I want you to get their hands on the mat. Don't even worry about the sweep. Get their hands on the mat. You know, just dummy it down like that. And I say dummy it down in a way just to make everybody understand. It's very simple. If you focus on hips hitting the mat or hands hitting the mat, you're going to get a sweep. Worst case scenario, you got to wrestle up, grab their leg, and take them down. That's it.
And folks, if you haven't been on his Instagram as well, his TikTok is awesome. But if you haven't been on his Instagram as well, his Instagram has some really cool instructional videos as well. So there's some really cool stuff on there as well.
There's some instructionals too. Tag that in there.
Absolutely.
You can.
Roy Gagney, I'm looking at you.
They're super cheap, you know.
My buddy Roy Gagney sends me a message last week. He's just within like a month of getting started in jiu-jitsu, and he's like, hey, nice. Who do you like for tutorials and whatnot? And I'm like, oh, Master Ken. Yeah, anything you need, you can learn from him. Yeah, everything you need in jiu-jitsu, you can learn from him. So yeah, nice. Less than thrilled with that answer, but whatever, it doesn't matter. All right, check it out. So and I know you got class to get back to, and you got white belts you want to whip, whose asses you want to whip. People are waving at you as you're going. What do you call it? We end every interview with your 2 minutes to shine. I'm going to give you the microphone. I'm going to shut the hell up for 2 minutes. The world is listening. Say whatever you want to whoever you want. Include your socials and where people can find you and how they can get to Ivy Jiu Jitsu if they wanted to drop in and get their ass kicked.
Got it. All right. If you're watching this, more likely you are a veteran or you support veterans in some form or fashion. If you are in a position where you don't have that type of tight-knit community, obviously I'm biased. Jiu-jitsu is great, and I think you should start it. Find a jiu-jitsu gym. Take your time. Yes, I know Jocko says the closest one to home is the best one, but I think culture means everything. There are some gyms out there, unfortunately, this day and age where they don't support first responders, law enforcement, veterans, and all that. So you got to be, find a good group, start training. And if you're looking for something to do as far as business or something outside of military, you just got out and you don't know where to do, just do whatever you like doing. I know that sounds cliche and cheesy, but find a way to do it. Whether it's you having to work, kind of gig work to do it, get out there, grind like you did in the military, and find what your passion is and just keep going. I was so hesitant on throwing myself on social media because I didn't like having my face out there. And now it's like, I was joking with my wife the other night. I'm like, I'm going to go do stand-up because I'm loving this comedy shit. I'm just going to throw myself out there. It's challenging. It looks crazy and scary. I want to try to do it at some point. So go out there and just do it. I know, again, it sounds cheesy. I hate being cheesy, so I'm going to finish it with some stupid shit. If you are doing jiu-jitsu, continue to suck. You're always going to suck. You're not going to get better, but you're going to keep doing it. And then every now and then when you can, throw in a throat rip. Instagram, Kevin's Jiu-Jitsu. Everything. Instagram, YouTube, Kevin's Jiu-Jitsu. That's what it is. Ivy Jiu Jitsu's Instagram is Ivy Jiu Jitsu.
You're on TikTok too, right?
Yes, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff.
Yep,
except Twitter or X. I don't know. I don't understand X, so I didn't do that.
You're not missing anything. Don't worry. It's fucking cesspool, bro. Don't worry about it. You're not missing anything. Last thing before I cut you loose. And you didn't throw out your social. Oh, you did throw out your social. I'm sorry. That's the last thing you finished with. What do you call it? Last thing before I cut you loose. Every Friday before you got cut loose, you had a safety brief. We finish every show with a safety brief. But because we broadcast on Mondays instead of Fridays, your safety brief has to last through the whole week. You got anything good for the safety brief for this week?
Oh, boy.
It can be anything you want, man. We do all the whole wear a condom, don't drink and drive, all that stuff. Yeah.
And again, I'm going to be cheesy, but do something that you don't normally do every day. That's good, not bad. Like do something that's somewhat, I don't know, not like tough or scary or something, just different. If it's a workout you've been putting out or putting off, do the workout. Do something, go walk, get outside. I don't know. I don't think enough people get outside.
I agree completely. I 1,000% agree. Kevin, you are an inspiration to whether you realize it or not, you are an inspiration to the veteran community, whether you recognize it or not. Your wife is completely correct. Take that Marine Corps EGA and make it 3 times bigger and stick it on your wall so that people know that you are a Marine. You should be proud. You've earned it. Not many people earn an EGA, and you did. So you should be proud of that. Congratulations for what you're doing. You are setting an example that other veterans are going to hope to achieve. So keep doing what you're doing, man. People love what you're doing.
Sure.
I'm very proud of you. Your wife is proud of you. Please keep doing what you're doing. A lot of people are watching and you are an inspiration. So keep it up. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking with Kevin. He is the co-owner is what they said on the website of Ivy Jiu Jitsu. Where is Ivy Jiu Jitsu located? What state are you in?
Middle Tennessee. Just outside of Nashville.
Sounds beautiful. He is the co-owner of Ivy Jiu Jitsu. You should definitely drop in. If you're not going to drop in, you should definitely go to his social media. Check it all out. He is doing some great stuff on social media. It is super fun with some great instructionals as well. Kevin, I can't thank you enough for taking time away from your business and your family for being here to support the veteran community. We sincerely appreciate your time on this Monday evening. Thank you so much for taking the time out. Have a great rest of your evening, and thank you for being a part of From the Ashes on About Face Media.
Thank you, and it was a pleasure to be on. Appreciate it.
Have a great rest of your Monday night. Thanks, man.
See you guys.
I love talking to folks like that. That is excellent shit right there. That dude gets out of the Marine Corps, opens a jiu-jitsu academy, and now look at it. That is awesome. I love that shit. Those are the stories we love. And look, see, you can't see it because he's in the green room, but you can see his wife peeking over his shoulder right now. She's awesome. We love you too, Mrs. Johnson. She brought him back in. That's awesome.
There you are.
Love your babies. Your babies are adorable. You guys doing good stuff. Keep it up. Anyway, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we should move on to Allie because she's been sitting there patiently. Is she wearing a orange Broncos sweatshirt?
Yeah, you wish it was Broncos. No,
you're darn tootin', I do. How the heck are you, Al?
Good. I'm good.
Man, tough week at the VA this week, huh?
I'm not on social media. I have no fucking idea what's happening. I got zero. I know nothing. I know nothing.
Broski, I was telling my wife that you're doing the 40-day social media fast. We are both very jealous. You're very well done to you. That is awesome. Hate that law enforcement lost a guy like that because of the culture. Rick, I could not agree more. Your law enforcement lost an excellent individual simply because of leadership. Poor leadership.
Oh, doesn't that happen in the Army every single day?
Imagine that, boss lady.
Yeah.
So I don't think you were, was it last week or 2 weeks ago that you weren't here? I went on a little rant about how people are not, veterans are being just rude and impolite to VSOs, VA workers, people that work at the VA hospitals, things like that. And I kind of went off just a little bit and said, hey, these people are here to help you. Stop being mean to them.
Stop with the fucking entitlement.
Exactly. Today, we heard a story, and you may not have heard about it. A veteran walked into a VA clinic and shot the social worker who was treating him. Folks, what are we doing?
Why?
What
happened to the veteran? Did he shoot himself too?
I don't believe so. I don't know the answer to that.
Why?
What are we doing? We are not murderers, folks. Stop it. You are not a murderer. Stop what you're doing. You took a father away from his 3 children. What did you say, Allie? I'm sorry.
He was killed, like he was shot and killed, or just shot and killed? Fuck, man.
I know. So yeah, this is not
as
the
if
way.
Veterans don't already have a shit fucking time dealing with society, as if our fucking mingling back into society isn't hard enough, and the stereotypes of us being crazy and alcoholics and drug addicts, dude, and we can't say, oh, it's a one-off, or like, not, he doesn't represent all of us. Like, fuck, you represent all of us.
Yes, he does. Yep. That is what people will remember. You okay, boss? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I just fuck that guy. Why, bro? Why? Because the psychologist was doing his job and gave you a hard truth about yourself? Guaranteed, right? But your ego, or you're too fucking dense to be like, oh, damn, maybe I am a fucking asshole. Well, damn, maybe no wonder my wife left me, or my kids hate me, or I keep getting fired because I'm an asshole. So instead of coming to terms with that and making a change in yourself, he goes and shoots somebody dedicated his life to helping this fucking guy. Like, shit like that makes me not want to do public service. Like, and I just won a Citizen of the Year award on Saturday. I
saw that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very, very well done to you.
Thanks. But
and you look good doing it.
Oh, I know. Stories like this, and I'm going to go on a rant, make me not want to fucking serve the public anymore. Not even the public, but veterans, my own. Because what's that, like, fatigue? You get fatigued. It's the same stories. It's the same people. It's the same, like, you have to help me because I'm a veteran. You need to give me this because I'm a veteran. I deserve this because I'm a veteran. And it's like, no, you don't.
You're right. You're completely right. You are completely right. And I was that's kind of what I was explaining to the listening audience last week is there is a button under the desk at every VA station. And if you start to be too much of an asshole, they push that button. You can be banned from the Department of Veterans Affairs.
Absolutely can. Yep. I've actually worked with several veterans who have been arrested by VA police. And the first time I heard it, I was a DVOP. And I was like, what do you mean you were arrested by the VA police, like the security guards? And they're like, no, they're actual police officers. Like, shut up.
Federal police officers.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, that's embarrassing. You were at a hospital and you got arrested at a hospital. That's embarrassing.
It should be. It should be.
Embarrassing.
So one other thing that I'd like to talk about a little bit. I know you're already in a pissy mood, so let's keep.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm good.
Going on about it.
I'm good.
I've had a couple of friends that have gone through, and they're listening, who have gone through comp and pen exams.
Yeah.
And as they get ready, so veterans, look at the camera and turn the volume up. Stop stressing yourself out before the comp and pen exams.
Your friend is the worst.
Yeah.
Your friend who you referred to me, great guy, wicked intelligent, too smart for his own good. Stop. Yeah. And I told him, he texted me and I'm like, you're fucking stressing yourself out. Knock it the fuck off. Stop it. Stop it. And I hope he's listening, bro.
He's only one. He's only one, dude. I've got like 9 of those friends right now that are like flipping the fuck out. And I'm like, yo, rein it in.
I hear the shit stories, right? But like, they're not denying that it exists, that your ailment exists, that your injury exists. They know that. They see that. They're denying that it happened in service. So when you get that decision letter and it says you have been diagnosed with a disability, but this is not service connected, we're denying your claim. It says right there, you've been diagnosed with a disability. So we recognize that you have a torn rotator cuff, but you can't prove that it happened in the service. That's what they're denying 90% of the time. The other 10%, they're just not reading your fucking records.
And that was going to be my next statement to you. That was literally the statement I had teed up with the ball. I had the driver in the hand.
Yeah, I saw it. I read it on your face.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I read it on your face. Yeah.
We've been doing this together long enough that we know.
Yeah.
I had a friend who today reached out to me and had his repeats. He had gone through his CMP exams, comp and pen exams. Folks, stop calling them disability. Comp and pen exams.
Yes.
And denied, and he's appealing and going through all the second stage part of it. And turns out that they never read his initial documents. He's like, all that's in my documents. Why are you asking me these questions? And they're like, oh, we never looked at that. Why the fuck did I spend all that time putting together all of that research and all of that documentation and getting these letters and meeting these people and getting this documentation from doctor's office? You don't even fucking look at it.
So the examiners, more often than not, will not look at whatever paperwork that the veteran presents. That evidence should be submitted. If you do the claim yourself, do a quick submit, should be submitted with your claim, and the raters look at that. Mm-hmm. So when you go for your comp and pen, the examiner, you're like, oh, I have x-rays. They're going to be like, cool, bro.
I don't read x-rays. I'm not a radiologist.
I don't know how to read x-rays.
Yeah,
exactly. So do the work, put in the legwork, right? read the journals, get the buddy statements, do the work. But just know that the examiner from the comp and pen, it's not their job to look at it. It's the rater's job, because the rater will look at your service treatment records. They're going to look to see if there's any treatments, complaints, diagnosis. They're going to look at your buddy statements. They're going to look at the report that the examiner wrote. And then they're going to paint a whole big picture. And then they're going to open up the 38 CFR, Code of Federal Regulations. And based on the severity and the frequency of your symptoms and this and that, you get a rating. So it's a big process. There's a lot to it.
There is. What do you call it? I only got you for 4 more minutes, so I want to squeeze this in real quick.
Yeah.
You may not have heard about it, but there's been an announcement that the VA is going to start using AI technology to screen past records to the 38 CFR to check for fraud and waste within the screening process. So, and before I get your take, I want to give you my hot take, because I'm super excited about this. Because I think it's going to reveal is they're going to take that AI, they're going to drop on all these veterans' medical records, and then drop it on top of the CFR, the 38 CFR. And what they're going to find out is that a whole fuck ton of veterans are underrated.
Yeah.
For a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Yes, you're going to find 200 people in the VA.
Yes.
That are committing fraud. 200. Good for you. Good.
Yeah.
Great. Get rid of those fuckers anyway. Nobody likes them. They didn't make it through basic training. Fuck off. Nobody likes them. See you later. Bye.
Yep.
But what's going to happen is the VA is going to fucking explode with people that have ED.
Well, yes. Well, what's going to happen is the same thing that happened when they rolled out the PACT Act. Yep. So all those years of fighting the PACT Act, we're like, yes. And the VA severely underestimated how many veterans actually have these presumptive diseases. And the same thing with Vietnam, with Southwest Asia. Like, oh shit, hypertension. I've done more hypertension claims since the PACT Act went into effect. Diabetes, like Agent Orange exposure, now counts as being a cause for diabetes. So you should go onto USA Gov, and there should be 3,800 open positions for actuaries, people that. Yeah, dude, that's a tough job.
This many people. Yeah, no shit, dude.
That's a really tough job.
This many people went to Vietnam. Well, we can extrapolate from that you're going to have this many people show up at the VA because this many have died. There's your number. With that, you can plan. Why is this so fucking hard? We know how many people went overseas.
Money. It's not that they don't know. They don't care to do anything about it. They know. They're not stupid. They knew about the radiation in Uzbekistan. They knew about the water at Lejeune and peas. Like, they know. I'm going to use one of my favorite words.
I'm going to use one of my favorite words right now. I'm going to offend you, and please feel free to be offended. What a bunch of fucking retards.
Oh, yeah. Why does that offend me? No, I thought you were going to say cunt. I love that word. So I don't get offended at much, dude. Like, none. I get offended at almost nothing.
I would never. Yeah. But yeah. Whatever, dude. What do you got for the safety brief this week? Well, so did you want to give a hot take on the AI thing?
Oh, no, I think it's a really good idea. So yeah, 200 veterans. Okay. Make them pay back all their shit. Congratulations.
Fuck them.
But then the VA be like, we fucked up because now we have thousands, tens of thousands of veterans underpaid according to the 38 CFR, which is the Code of Federal Regulations. Oh, I'm only getting 20 when I should be getting 50. Yeah. So I think this is good for us. It's going to be a shit show. It's going to be a shit show for us. It is, because in the end, we're the ones that suffer.
Yep. It's going to be, Anyway, I only got a minute.
You know when they're going to roll it out? Is this is it like a concept, or is this like actually happening?
It's from what I understand, it's happening, and I'm getting the 1 minute.
1 minute. Yep.
Drag off. Allie, I love you. Do you have anything for the safety brief?
No, I got nothing.
You got nothing? Nothing for the safety brief? Well, how's that possible? Oh, my battery's dead.
Oh, mine is too.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to From the Ashes on About Face Media. Have a great rest of your night. Allie, it's always good to see you. Have a great rest of your week. Hope you get your box soon. Have a great rest of your night. Thanks for listening, folks. Have a great night. Appreciate you listening to From the Ashes on About Face Media.
place no one knows has the face lies the snake in the sun in my disgrace. Boiling heat, summer stench, neath the black, the sky looks dead. Call my name through the cream and I'll hear you scream again. Black hole sun, won't you